Trump signed a EO to reschedule marijuana from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3 alongside doctors, cancer patients, veterans, and law enforcement. Interesting thing about this, no, it doesn't legalize weed. No, it doesn't make it recreational in all 50 states. None of those things. It's still federally illegal, still federally banned. But what it does do is it allows now to be access to research facilities, universities. They can do clinical trials, things like that. So this seems like more of a push for the medical intervention pharmaceutical side versus now we're going to be seeing weed vending machines on the streets or anything like that.
Yes. Yeah. He's very clear. He goes into it in the talk that he was giving about this. Like, listen, this is not me making something legal. This is not decriminalizing in any way, shape, or form. This is simply trying to make something where we can find out what we don't know about it, and we can address two groups that are very important to me. Group number one is elderly people that are dealing with pain management. CBD and marijuana both have implications in that we want to see. And then also just people being able to get access to medication that their doctor's saying, look, this might help. There's some evidence. It's not clinically labeled for this, but off label, go ahead and try it. And so for those reasons, I think that goes a long way. Also, this is an interesting way for somebody that has a base that is so anti-drug to also please the Maha crowd, which is going to be really pushing. He said in the talk that he gave about this, RFK has been like banging the drum on him forever. Like, hey, when are we doing something about marijuana? When are we doing something about marijuana? Because of its implications. So that's interesting. I would like to see more of this be done. This is the biggest policy shift in our drug policy since the war on drugs began. And so seeing us do the same with like psychedelics, I think would be a huge step in the right direction. For so long, we weren't able to study it. And so to me, this is an unmitigated good. I don't know that we want to go all the way to, do we want to go all the way to federally legalizing marijuana? Yes, probably marijuana, but not federally legalizing all drugs. Having deterrence, being able to get people off the streets, I think is a good thing. Seeing people do the fentanyl lean all across Southern California is not ideal. And so having that card in your pocket that you can play to be able to get them off the street, I think is strong magic. So wouldn't want to do that. But there is something to be said about looking at ones that do have beneficial effects and treating them accordingly.
This is kind of a sidebar. I don't know if you heard about the Kennedy Center, the Trump Kennedy Center. That
I did. Unanimously, the board of the Kennedy Center has decided to call it the Trump Kennedy Center. And I was like, oh, God, like while he's in office, like that sounds horrible. So that feels like some donor political pressure kind of thing. Of like,
once I started going through it, it's he appoints the board to the Kennedy Center, and then they all unanimously voted.
Can you imagine?
Unanimously in quotes. And I just found out Congress has to be the one to give the board authority.
Yeah,
to
it's legally mandated to be that, which is smart for reasons just like this.
Yeah, so it was like he made the press conference, put it in on the website and everything, and it hasn't even official change yet. The U.S. House just passed the Protect Children's Innocence Act. With a vote of 216 to 211, the bill makes it a felony to perform genital mutilation.
This one's coming for you.
Man, puberty blockers and hormone therapy
That's
to minors.
exactly what it says about it.
They passed it 216 to 11. The interesting thing was there was 4 nays on the Republican side, 3 yays on the Democrat side. So this one had a lot more party splits than normal. It still has to go to Congress and still has to get passed around. Yeah. What is your initial thoughts about the Child Protection Act?
This one is crazy to me. I cannot believe that people are open to that being done to minors. It is irreversible. They are not intellectually capable of consenting to something like that. They certainly do not understand enough about life. We have the age of consent for a reason. People should need to be adults to make those decisions. If an adult wants to do that, go for it, no problem. But doing it to kids really should be criminal. So yeah, this one, I'm very, very, very glad that it passed the House, and I very, very, very much hope that it passes the Senate. People are expecting some tough opposition. I think that's pretty wild. So on that, like this is very straightforward to me. There's meant to be friction between the states and the federal government, but not to the level that we're seeing now. So we'll see how this ends up playing out, but nothing has changed. Like this has got to go through the full legislative process. So until it does, like no need to panic if this is a big thing for you.
Yeah, if you can't buy cigarettes, if you can't get a tattoo, if you can't get a piercing, if you can't walk into certain stores, if you got to get kicked out of Dave & Buster's after 10 o'clock,
Yeah.
I feel like you shouldn't do any irreversible surgeries.
Yeah.
That's
I don't even
kinda-
think you can get a tattoo until you're 18
Yeah.
or 16, but
Yeah.
like, that's
For,
wild.
yeah, piercing start at 15. So it's like, we have these arbitrary limits on one side, but you can't pierce the outside of your body, but I can do something inside of your body that will fundamentally change the nature of your
Also,
of
these
your
are
development.
complicated medical procedures,
Yeah.
man.
This is actually interesting pushback. Thank you, Jay Mayer, for articulating it. Circumcision should also be illegal until 18, because if we're going to stop messing with people's pubes, we should mess with all the way, stop messing with it. I understand that notion. I get that notion. I think circumcision is probably going to be the next thing on the chopping block, because that is one of those grandfathered Christian ethos things that we just don't talk about.
I doubt that will be true unless there are major complications that I'm unaware of. I think it will go something like British common law. The reason that common law is so brilliant, and the countries that ended up adopting common law because they were part of the British Empire for a while have ended up doing far better than the countries that don't, is common law basically says this: if we've been doing something for a long time and we see the result of doing that thing for this very long time is the society that we see, and we like this society, then it's probably not a problem. And so the mere fact that it is common is what gives it the validity. So the gender affirming care stuff is brand new. Nobody knows what the long-term consequences are going to be. It's entirely possible that 20 years from now, I have to eat all my words because it's just like, oh my God, everything is glorious and everybody should be forced through gender reassignment surgery. I can't imagine it, but let's say, I'll follow whatever ends up being true. But what we are saying is this is so new that treating it like we know what the right play is here, and that we are so confident that we know what the right play is, that we're going to do something that we have historically not done for anything else, is wild. So this is not something that is new. Now, if people don't want to do it, if more and more people are like, ooh, that's barbaric, I'm not here for it. Oh, okay, cool. Like, make that decision. I certainly don't think people should have to circumcise their kids. That one getting passed as law as being problematic, I think will fall to the argument of common law.